I also live on one of the busiest corners in my city, by the way. Literally, people will text me when I'm at work and be like, hey, there's packages on your porch. Do you want me to just pop them inside? And the answer is yes, because they probably already know my code also. When you're in the Army, everyone knows where you live. They can probably get into your house. They all know your social security number. And now there's social media, so it's like I would have to get over it all over again. And no, I don't. Hi, I'm Shay. My kitchen. Why are we in my kitchen? Okay, hi. This knife is so sharp. I've cut myself so many times. I'm finally, I did the thing. It's time for me to introduce myself. We've been spending a lot of time together. And so I decided to bring you to my house and my kitchen specifically so that we could talk a little bit about why I think I might be like remotely qualified to tell you anything about sewing. My name is Shay. My whole name is Shaylin. I go by Shay because it feels way more like me. And actually, this is a little secret. I also go by Shay because it's a totally gender neutral name. And when I started this business, I used to go to people's houses and Shay the tailor is completely innocuous. I had trouble when I was younger with, imagine this, not being taken seriously. And so when I started going by just Shay, Shay the tailor, you literally had no idea who was gonna show up. And honestly, I really liked that about it. So I stuck with it. I am not originally from Oklahoma, but I adore living in Oklahoma. I grew up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Out here, I tell people that I'm from Philly, which is a lie. It's just that it's the airport that we fly into and it's just easier. But Carlisle, Pennsylvania is not Philly and very, very small. It's like, I think they call it a village. They don't even call it a town. And the reason that we live there is because my mom worked in defense and there's a base there. There's a military base there. And so we were the people that lived in the town and everybody else rotated through. So that went well friend making wise. Initially, long before sewing, was welding. My dad is a welder. I think I've mentioned this before in some videos, but he's a sculptor. So large scale metal sculptures. It did blossom into the sewing. I grew up welding. Metal has a lot of similarities in certain philosophical ways to how 2D pieces of fabric come together to make 3D sculptures or clothing. So I started there and took that into high school, which is when I found out that we had a sewing machine already, actually. A little guy in the corner, one of those ones that flips out of the desk. And my mom told me when I told her I wanted to make a t-shirt. Got into sewing completely on my own, like, you know, newspaper patterns out of Simplicity Patterns. Oh, I hope you're not watching my technique, by the way. Like mainly face. Don't, actually, now that I say that, I'm starting to cry again. Shallots, onions, I swear it's not me. This is gonna sound ridiculous, but my high school allowed me to take 3 of the 4 years of English requirements as Shakespeare. I gotta stop cutting these. Eventually I did school play and all of that too, but I also went to a vocational high school. And so I was allowed to take half the day as art portfolio, which became my fashion portfolio. And I used that to apply to college in New York. So then I went and I got my degree in apparel design and product development with a brand new, at the time, minor in sustainability and textiles, because we were just getting into the complete and total environmental economics of what goes into the production of our the fabric, even before it's clothes. And then senior year, my husband, whom I love, says, you know what would be really great? If you moved to Fort Hood, Texas instead and marry me. And I think I did say something like, you're gonna have to buy me some nicer boots before you ask me something like that. And he did. I still have them, I've got the boots. But you see, the thing is, when I went to school in New York, I did not want to stay. I did not want to become a famous fashion designer. I always loved construction, the construction of the pieces. So I always knew that I would take that part of the degree and take it somewhere. I just didn't know where, and I was 21 and I just got married to a brand new, fresh lieutenant. And we spent the next 7 years after that traveling between Fort Hood in Texas, Fort Benning in Georgia, Fort Sill here in Oklahoma, too many times, which is how we get to the Oklahoma part. It ain't called the Great Plains for nothing. We got a lot of land and a lot of room for young lieutenants and captains to learn how to shoot cannons, and you can imagine how well that goes. So we came out here a bunch, and then finally on the third time, we were like, what if we stayed? What would happen to us? Okay, so when I started sewing here in Oklahoma, this was kind of my chance to get back. I had sewn, pant hems, patches, all the stuff, all the military insignia, things that you think. And I'd done that on the road, which is fine, but that wasn't a business. It wasn't intended to be a business. It was just kind of like keeping, my chops up. And when we got here to Oklahoma, that's when I was able to actually start a legitimate business in Oklahoma. And that's what I did. So I started right out back in the garage here at this house. And then we moved down the street to a 600 square foot spot on Brookside. And then finally we had the 1,800 square foot space that we're in now, that all the videos are shot in now. The progression has been crazy. Probably when I started, I was in the garage for almost 2 years, just me. And when we moved over to Brookside, we were there for 2.5, almost 3 years. And now we've been in the new spot for 3.5. So I think that math is like a rough 8 that Tallgrass has been in existence. Take a look at my sheet here. I make notes, change things, basically every single time I make this. I'm making what we call Cincinnati chili. It goes by a lot of names, but that's the one that I like. So my dad always cooked, which meant that everything was delicious all the time. I absolutely love food. I love all food. And this is something that he always used to make, which satisfied 2 things for me. 1, the fact that I enjoy eating every day. But 2, I was like really into potions and like amateur witchcraft as a kid. Like even just the ingredients you can see here doesn't even cover it. This isn't even half of what's gonna go in here. And so this, I'm sorry. Are you hungry? So I love this and I love cooking because it's so much faster than sewing by and large. And then on days that it just feels like you can sew and sew and sew, and some days those projects take a lot longer than they should, or they take exactly as long as they're supposed to, but it's still a real long ass time. Coming home and cooking something in like 30 minutes, pretty awesome. We're gonna go over and we're gonna get some meat in the pan next. Boy, I'll tell you what, I feel very lucky, because if you can get lucky enough to find a thing that you could do every day, even when you don't like it, I mean, that's like as good as it gets. I don't sew every day because I absolutely love it every day. Absolutely can't live without it every day. That's not the point. There are so few things that can give us that spark of inspiration, satisfaction, purposefulness every single day in different ways. That could be so multifaceted that you could do it for so long. You could do it for so many years. And still, I mean, think about it. What do most people say? What do most people say when they say, my grandma sews, my mom sews, my cousin sews? It's a life sport, like a sport that you can play for your entire life. Why is it that way? It's not just a coincidence. It's not just these people are special. The people who choose it are not special. The craft is special, in my opinion. It's so rare to me that you could find something that every day you could learn, it could teach you, it could make you feel different, new, or old feelings, and that you could like or appreciate that in some way. I don't even like it every day. Like I said, it's not even that. I can count on it. I can count on it. There's a certain amount of consistency that we're looking for in life to give us that, good feeling, a little bit of good every day. And that, I always get that. I still get that after all of these years. Yeah, so that is why I started the YouTube channel. Sewing has become the unexpected, consistent joy in my life. It has been, it still is, it has followed me to so many states, to so many apartments, to so many places, through so many experiences, and still is relevant for me. And I guess that's why I want to share it so much. I spent a lifetime in my childhood learning to weld with my dad. So much of it is lost, replaced with other things in my brain. I wish I could go back and watch videos of those things that we used to do together, and that was the inspiration. I wanted it for me. It's selfish. I wanted it for my son. I want it for you. I want it for anyone who doesn't want this to be lost. I want to be like a little sliver of the past shooting forward through the channel. The dying art of sewing doesn't have to be dead. Isn't dead yet. So thank you so much for joining me. Cheers.